Well, the Estadio Ramón Sánchez Pizjuán is red behind me, and Erik ten Hag was left red in the face by his Manchester United players tonight. Unprompted, he said that performance was comparable with the debacle at Brentford, the thrashing at Manchester City, the annihilation by Liverpool, and it really was a performance in keeping with those dreadful defeats. It was a performance that was more in keeping with last season, some of the thrashings that were meted out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick. And really, without saying it, Erik ten Hag, he suggested that the game is up for some of these players. He questioned the character of some of the players. He said there was a lack of desire, lack of fight from Manchester United. He found it hard to accept that, but he said it's the truth. And really, going ahead into next season, there are some of the players who started for United tonight who can't be there next season. Their number is up. It's now down to the club to really be ruthless, to buck the trend and actually be proactive with selling players. It's something that they've not been good at traditionally. That goes back many years. But now they've got to get it right. They will be in a position of relative strength to sell in the summer, given the likelihood of being back in the Champions League and having what really should be still remembered as a positive season. But the trouble is, this season has been peppered with some truly abject performances and results, and this was another one of them tonight. To have been 2-0 up against Sevilla with 80 minutes gone in the first leg and to have lost it 5-2 on aggregate, something has to have gone dreadfully wrong, and it did. And unfortunately for Harry Maguire, when United were playing without him over these two legs, they were 2-0 up. With him, they lost 5-0, and you look at the goal tonight, the first goal, he called for the ball from David De Gea. He knew it was coming to him, but he didn't sense the danger, and he didn't feel Eric Lamela breathing down his neck. And what happened was that Sevilla scored, and that set the tone for a pretty dreadful night for United. And there is a reason why United provisionally planned for Harry Maguire not to be in their squad next season. He's had a pretty bad season. He would probably admit it privately, maybe not so much publicly. And before tonight, United had won the last 11 games that he'd started in, but there was a great deal of mitigation to that. With De Gea, it feels hard to believe that United are trying to negotiate a new contract for him, given that he's been at the club for 12 years. And you look at De Gea's situation, if he was at Manchester City, City would have shipped him out years ago, because there are limitations to his game, and those limitations were exposed with all three goals tonight by Sevilla. Their press was very aggressive for the first goal. With the second goal, even though he's rooted to his line, he still reacted slowly to the looping header. And the third goal, sometimes you're lost for words, really. When De Gea comes out of the area, he can be a danger to his own side, and that was very much the case this evening. But the blame is widespread. Jadon Sancho hid again tonight. He played like someone who was on borrowed time, just resigned to Marcus Rashford taking his place, and that happened as soon as the second half. It possibly should have happened sooner. Sancho just looks the antithesis of the player who would drive at defenders in the Bundesliga during his time at Borussia Dortmund, and he's a shadow of the £72.9 million player that United signed less than 2 years ago. Anthony Marshall regressed again tonight. He got injured again tonight. There's a reason why Manchester United want a new striker next season. They can't trust Marshall. He's not up to it, and that was known quite some time ago. But that compliant culture at the club of pandering to player power, look where that's got them. They gave Marshall a new contract back in 2019. Here we are nearly 4.5 years later. He's only broken the 20-goal barrier in one season. He's not up to it. And United really need to get back to that level of the 2003 signings. When you think back to that summer of Djemba, Kleberson, Bellion, Tim Howard, the only shining light was Cristiano Ronaldo. But those other four players, their United careers were pretty much over after 2 years. Djemba's was over after 18 months. Tim Howard went on loan to Everton, I think, in 2006, but in 2005 Edwin van der Sar came to the club, and finally they had a worthy successor to Peter Schmeichel. So United need to get back to that level, and this performance tonight reinforced that. They've made progress this season. They should finish third, which would be a success given the starting point at the start of the season. They've won a trophy as well. They could win another trophy, although they're coming up against a brilliant Brighton side. So whatever happens on Sunday, you would expect this season to be remembered as a successful one. However, there is an awful lot of work for United to do in the summer, and there's a reason as well, as I said earlier, why at the club they are fully aware there need to be more outgoings than incomings.